This is my second passport already at 2 years old. And here's my mom. And so she went around the world and had this quite a glamorous life. Every picture I see of her, she's in stilettos, and this is me. So I've just been tear gassed. This is a lot of the work I did while living in Nepal was covering the revolution and the overthrow of the government. So you have to really question a profession where you are running into the area that everybody is running away from. So I'm just going to run through a few of these pictures here. I've been photographing the Tibetans and their life for 25 years now. And I've been to all the 57 settlements throughout India and Nepal. There's 120,000 refugees living throughout. This is in Nepal. This is the Tibetan New Year. They're celebrating, and here they've tied new prayer flags at Bodhanath Stupa. One of the lamas have died, so they've lit 100,000 butter lamps for him. And this is little Kalu Rinpoche. He was the Dalai Lama's teacher in his last life. And as many of you know, in Tibetan Buddhism, they believe in reincarnation. And I went to go see Kalu Rinpoche when he was an old man. And I went to Darjeeling in India, and it was raining, and I was with a Tibetan friend, and the caretaker came out and said, "I'm sorry, he can't come out to see you, he's too ill." And I left very disappointed, like, oh, I'm not going to be able to photograph him, and sure enough, he died 3 months later. So now, this is years later, I hear that they found the reincarnation. So I went down to his room, and he was on the bed playing Game Boy. And I asked his mother, can I come in? His mother said, oh, this photographer wants to come and meet you. And so I went in, and he looked up, and he said, I remember you. He said, you came to see me. It was pouring rain. My caretaker was making momos, these little dumplings. I was too ill to see you then, but I'll see you now. Now I'm very into going into Tibet. I've been going there for 25 years as well, just the nomads and really documenting their way of life. These are all prayer flags. I feel a little like Edward Curtis sometimes because I feel like these are such phenomenal people and we have so much to learn from them, and yet I feel like I'm really photographing the last of the generation of these people. This was a story that was in National Geographic on the nomads, and this little Tibetan girl, she just sort of, to me, sort of encapsulated what I feel is going through with the culture. She looks so sad but so intense. And when I photographed her, I saw her walking home from a horse festival, and I came out to photograph her. It was pouring rain, and then I came into this school. I put her on the desk, and she was so small. She's only like 4 or 5 years old. And then I had to get on a desk to photograph her, and I just felt like, and this was on film, and I just felt like, got it, and I didn't even see the picture for 3 months. I love their headgear. I just love their look, and I love so much of, their gentleness. And these are just found people, and this is in a photo studio. It's a little monk getting his first photo. Beautiful amber and coral that they wear in their hair. He's been prostrating around. He's a young boy that's been prostrating, so he's got a blister on his forehead from all the prostrations. And that's the prayer wheel in her home as she's drinking tea. And this woman, she couldn't even understand what I found interesting about her. I'm like, okay. So as you can see, I really love their headgear, and I was like almost hyperventilating when I saw this one because I hadn't seen it before. So I asked my driver, oh my God, find out where these orange hat people live. And so it's basically like over the valley, cross a river, go over this log, and you'll find them. And I thought, I don't know, is this a one-off? This is this lady just wearing this one hat. And I get in the valley, and everybody's wearing these orange hats. It's incredible. It was like a Dr. Seuss characters. And I guess it's this goat hair, and I don't know where they get the dye, but it's a look, This is for Tibetan New Year. The girls are all dressed up. The nuns. So when I first met the Dalai Lama, it was 1988. It was right before he won the Nobel Peace Prize, so basically no one really knew who he was yet. And I, believe it or not, his secretary called me and asked me if I could come and meet him. And he was very interested in the fact that I'd been to all these Tibetan settlements. He was so interested in how are the young people doing. And we ended up having a whole day together. And he gave me a Tibetan name, and we were chatting. And then I was in Dharamsala for 6 weeks because I adopted this Tibetan girl, not to bring home, but I was supporting her. And so the Dalai Lama and I, spent a lot of time together. And I sent this a picture back to my parents. I was so proud, look, here's me at the Dalai Lama. And all my mother knows is that I'd left for the Surik assignment and I didn't come back from Asia for 4 years. And I sent her a picture of me with this guy with a shaved head and mala beads. And she's like, Frank, oh my God, she's joined a cult. Go over there and get her. So she's... Seriously. So she sent my father and my brother come over to rescue me, But anyway, I brought them to Tibet, and then they sort of got what I was doing, but it was actually quite funny. So then he won the Nobel Peace Prize, and then everybody knew who he was. But I ended up able to spend quite a bit of time with him over the years. And this was really quite a moment. I was walking with him from his home to his office, and he just reached and he touched blessed this guy, and I just thought it was such an amazing moment. So you can see I definitely have a strong sense of spiritual in a lot of my work. I've been photographing Buddhism all over the world as one of my projects. This is at Angkor Wat, and I did a lot of work for a few years for the Travel Channel, and I did this Alison Wright photo journeys, Alison Wright on the Road. And this was a story on Angkor Wat. And, so often seeing the beauty of places, but then also addressing the issue of children that are being affected by landmines. And don't forget that. And same in Burma. There's so much beauty in Burma, but also the issues. I went there to interview Aung San Suu Kyi, and I got really lucky because I actually did get in there and interview her. They let her out from under house arrest for a day. So this was her book cover, and did a whole interview with her. Burma, golden rock, it's all gold leaf. All this stuff looks so beautiful, and actually I was like up there, and it's a big hike to the top of this mountain. I came out and someone stole my shoes, so I had to walk down the whole mountain barefoot. Mingon's being affected by an earthquake. Japan. These are these lanterns they send up in the sky with wishes in Thailand, tattooing in Thailand. This is Japan, the geishas there. So I just, there's so much, we're so different looking, and yet I just find as I go around the world, we're so much the same. And, as for all our exoticness, and here's me looking really tan, it's just amazing how really we just want the same things. We really just want safety and health for our kids, for ourselves, a little bit of money in our pocket, a job. This is so bizarre because I was just here 2 days ago. It's sort of surreal. The back of the Taj Mahal, which is interesting because I shot this last time I was there last year, and you can't go on this side of the river anymore. They've shut it down because they're so afraid of bombings. This I just shot in Amritsar, the Sikhs bathing at the Golden Temple. This is in Pushkar. I was just there. I just flew in last night from the Camel Fair, the Purple House. This is a tribe in Ladakh in India that wear flowers in their hair, and not like the kind we wear in San Francisco. That's India. This is Kashmir. This little girl just rode up to me. You can hear the gunshots in the background, and she just rose up and hands me a flower. I just love that in life.